Welcome home, all of my divine loves and my divine lovettes. I love you guys. I love you guys. My goodness. It is a very special day for me. Oh, you guys, come on in. It's your home. You remember that? This is your home. And what that means is come right on in, right? Coffee on the left, refreshments on the right, water fountains, and restrooms in the back. You heard me. Come right on in and get this love, because on this channel we do not lack. We simply stack. You know what I mean? Now, I love you guys. I love you guys. Ooh, what today is. You guys know that I don't know, but those of you who do know, shout out to all of my loving subscribers whom I've had the chance to meet out in the field. You know what I mean? On the phones, was able to channel their loved ones. Shout out to you guys as well. I'm so grateful you've been here this long, rocking with a channel, and happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday to you, all that this applies to. You guys, listen up. You heard me. Today is a special, special day in every single way. All right? This is the day that I feel like one of them things is that this is the day that the higher realms have made, and it's so beautifully, orchestrated, and so well played. This is so beautiful. I'm grateful today in every single way, and I choose to live my life that way, regardless. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say to you guys is my birthday is September 1st. A lot of you guys know that, okay? My father passed, well, I'm going to tell you, my mom passed away September the 19th. My father passed away September the 23rd, a year apart, a year in reverse. So, first was my father, then came my mother. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is this in my, okay, let me just say it right. My birthday is September the 1st. My mother passed away September the 19th. My father passed away September the 23rd. My sober anniversary is the 22nd of September. I've been sober now today 38 years, ever since I was 21 years old. So, having that said, I'm telling you guys, having that said, something dropped, like the cards dropped, and this is how they dropped. Breaking the cycles. People like us, we broke cycles in our family in order to just live a spiritual, luxurious life, okay? And that was the wake-up call that came to me in every way on that beautiful, blessed day, which is today. So my sober date is September 22nd, and that was 1987. I was 21 years old, 21 years of age, and so I do have a pic of that, but for now I'm just gonna let that ride. I have a pic of that, how skinny I was, 110 pounds soaking wet. I choose not today. I'm sorry. And no, I don't care what the trend is. You know what I mean? However, yeah, whatever the trend is, I won't go for that. But you guys, I'm here to celebrate with you guys very briefly and to also recognize, all right, living that sober life, you know. And like I said in my read, I wasn't really, you know, I know the reading or sometimes words or text come off a little bit bolder, like arrogant. It was not meant to be received in a negative light. When I post, it's to receive something that pierced a spiritual finite within you and you, right? Because, you know, life is, how they say, life be life, right? However, sometimes spirituality can be so simple. You know, it could be something simple as not taking a drink. One day at a time. You know, so what I'm saying to you guys is that now equals 38 years of sobriety in this lifetime, in this realm. Now, I want to let you guys know, if you see the song that I posted yesterday, said it's my vibe, it's also my vibe today because it really says a lot in the lyrics. It's called We Are the Champion. I posted that in my playlist. And it talks about the walk in sobriety. You know, for me, it kind of gives you a sheer piece of it. So what I want to let you guys know is that when you choose the road, I say word, when you choose the road less traveled, it is not going to be an easy road to travel. And must I say, at 21 years old, that was for me to recognize, to my dismay, that it was not an easy road to travel. And that's real stuff, you know. So what I'm trying to say to you guys, at 21 years old, I chose the path of sobriety. I was complete with anything and everything, including smoking cigarettes. I used to be a chain smoker. I used to be a chain. What was that? Anywho, and at 20, I mean, can you imagine a young chain smoker? I know you guys can now, this day and time. But back then, yeah, you know, I like to let people know that I stopped smoking cigarettes when they became $1. As soon as they became $1, I said, that's going to make me holler. And I'm a scholar when it comes to numbers, when it comes to the money. Delegate my, because I was a single parent also by 21 years old of 2. I had just had my second child. And she was probably, you know, very, very, about 8 months or something like that. And that was, you know, a big deal. However, if someone would have told me what I was getting into, I always tell people, I would have signed in, but I would not have signed up. However, walking this walk has been a significant one. Some of you guys have seen some of the things I've posted. That came along with the journey of sobriety. A lot of people were picking on me, and I went to school for computer science, okay? And a lot of people were picking on me in school because I didn't go out with them. I didn't do what they do. I didn't hang out. So in their crew, you know, so they used to pick on me and try to, you know, fight me, right? In computer science class, okay? So, and then they used to stand on the top of me because my keystrokes was phenomenal at the time. I graduated with all these whatever. So the bottom line is, walking that journey, I noticed a lot of tests. This is one of the reasons why I have to do what I do and why the higher realms called me to do what I do. it is a real thing to do what I do. And I started out, at 12 years old, I used to write my poetry. I started out, singing, trying to get my shows together and stuff like that. But during that drinking and whatever era, I could never get that show quite up, because just before a show, somebody would slide me one. Just before I do a show, somebody would slide me one. All right? It will be significantly there. Now, I'm just saying, in my time, we had real people, who respect women for who they are. So, we didn't have to bend over backwards for things at that time, because I was young. So the bottom line is, somebody would find a way to slide me one. Okay? And that was my doomsday. I would somehow not make it to my show that I worked hard to maintain, just so I could perform and go. Yeah, that used to be my story. So fast forward to 1987, September the 21st, because I always celebrate the next day, which is the complete sober day. That, I actually stopped on the 21st, but however, I don't celebrate until the complete day of clean out. And I still don't call that, we don't call that sober in any type of way. 1 day, no indeed, sweetie. Not even 1 year, you know what I mean? So let's make that clear, because it's so much fog that those toxins put in your brain. And if you were born, with, maybe a family member, or, your father or your mother who drank, if you were born with that connected energy, it's a lot of fog that needs to be cleaned and cleared. And at least by 5 years, you can claim the word of sobriety. Because we choose to say that, and during that before 5 year time, it's a lot of fog there. It's a lot of fog, the bottom line, okay? In every way. And a lot of people, I don't know, some people seem to think that, it really helps the brain. However, the counteract fact of that is that it hinders the brain. That's why they have movies like, dude, where's my car? That type of thing. And now, in this day and time, I don't know what has had been poisoned to do, but now we have things that's unbeknownst to me or you, hence dementia, right? So that's a whole new. Listen, my children, I have children in their 40s, okay? In their 40s. I have grandchildren in their 20s, right? So all I'm saying is, back in that time, we never heard of anything like dementia, right? No one was suffering for any. If anything, they were suffering from remembering too much. You remember I took that to your backside? You remember your father came over here and did so and so? If anything, it was too much memory back then. Okay, grandma, can you? Okay, auntie. That type of thing. If anything, it was too much memory going on back then. You still date that? No, not no more. You know what I mean? So that thing there. Okay, if anything, back in that day, it was too much memory. I can't make it up. And you guys know it too, because you actually see movies based on that, where you had, the elders actually tell you the whole story, of the family. So, I don't want to stray off topic, even though I seldom do, because of so much I want to give to you. Because you guys need to know that I don't do this, for an ego. That's something, and believe it or not, with a birth name like mine, with a government name like Star, I still don't play ego. You know what I mean? And I think my father did that for various reasons. I don't know, because he's the one that named me Star. That is my birthright name. Okay? So get the figmentations out of anyone's mind, of stripper, because, like that has been a thing over the years that had attached itself to people like myself when I've, quite frankly, in my lifetime, at that time, I've never even seen a pole. And I was, aware that someone was using the name, my birth name, to strip on the bow. So, behold, that's been a part of this sober journey and story as well. So a lot of people, I know you guys know that, this walk is serious. It's not for the faint of heart. Life in general, I'm saying, is not for the faint of heart. However, when you actually answer the call in which you're being called for your purpose, which is your higher purpose, not your lower purpose, your higher purpose, and it doesn't matter what age, because this is a spiritual journey. And this is, have been like that spiritual journey. And that along that spiritual journey, you may come up with the spiritual warfare in some spaces here. Let's make that clear. So the spirit, you all, is just like the word says, it's spiritual all, is for everyone. Meaning the spirit has no sex, no age, no color. All right? We are to love and heal one another. Now, another thing. Today is that day. I'm trying to, because my heart is so, grateful. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's just one day. Because I may be, kicked in the butt in 2 minutes after I make this video. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, you know what I mean? Like I shared with you guys, always remember, the enemy is enemy. No one can harm me as I can harm me, okay? No one has ever done to me what I have done to me. No one has told me to date this person, date that person, do this, do that. None of that but me. So I must identify in this lifetime, the enemy is in me. Right? And another thing that sobriety really brings to a value is when we're open to receive, we actually learn that our self is our wealth, which is the reason for the outside energies. See, these outside forces want to come inside because they know they can't do nothing outside, because we're going to be like, you better keep it moving, sonny. Honey, keep it moving, right? So it has to come inside of the body in order to affect the mind, the body, and the soul, right? So love yourself and be whole. I put a 5-year, I put a 5-year sober challenge in my post section. Now, I know they've been trying to not show my videos, and I'm sure of why. However, don't know what that is, and I don't know who that is. Quite frankly, could care less, because the higher realms is the one that simply bless. The rest create mess. And I can't make it out. If you're aligned with the higher realms, that means you are here to bless. The others who are not aligned, they're here to do whatever the rest. You know what I'm saying? Which is the mess. Keep the mess going, right? So, what I'm telling you guys is that I was a sober female at 21 years old, walking this walk called a beautiful sobriety life, right? Now, along this journey, like I said, and I let you guys know all the time, universal law is simply, you shall be tested. Universal law number 14 means you shall be tested, okay? Now, these are simple tests. Like I said, when I went to school right away, try to get in there and get that good job, because now I'm sober, I can hear, I can see, and I can breathe, and I can feel, and I can, focus very clearly. I go right to the computer science. Graduate. Wow. Happy. Now, while I'm in school, like I said, it was a lot of battle. The females were just going at me hard, because they really thought, that this is what they were supposed to do. And may my father rest in peace, because, they may have, really gotten the best of me, which I am able to share with you. Because this is the best of me you guys got. I'm not giving you no chicken feet, bottom feet. This is the best of me that I'm giving you guys as well. I'm able to share that best part of me with you guys. So that means you guys are highly special to me. Some of you guys can see that. Like I said, I've already met a lot of you guys in the field, in the journey, and already, channel for your loved ones. Even over the phone, it was a lot of interaction, a lot of energy. I was able to share that light with you guys. That's a beautiful thing. So the journey started there. Like I said, I was 21 with 2 children, single parent. Well, it's not like, I don't know why, people like to try to do certain things, but let me clear this up. My child father asked me to marry him. He was, focused because he was much older. At the time, excuse me, guys, at the time, my thought pattern was screwed. Like, how are you going to ask somebody who's not even, to be honest with you guys, anybody who was drunk, married, that shouldn't even be a thing. I don't know. But the bottom line is, it shouldn't be a thing. You should be of soundness of mind. Honestly, I really think everybody should have a PP test and a blood test that amplifies it. It's something that may be increasing the influence here. All right, I really think so for me. So the bottom line is, I didn't feel that because again, the fog was there. I don't see where alcohol or any other mood changing chemicals can allow you to have a clear decision, especially a major life decision, right? That's why when we do what we do out there, we end up with the lower scale of results. Maybe what do you call a miscalculated childbirth? You know what I mean? Because I don't want to say, because it's not only, however, miscalculated childbirth. One that comes too soon. You just wasn't ready. You know what I mean? Because if you were ready, you had everything laid out. Now, so it forces you to make these immature behavior decisions. Like, it's very immature state of being. I remember when I was younger, I couldn't wait till I get grown to do something like this. And then when I got grown and I realized, I said, well, this, I saw people being irresponsible. I saw people not going to work. I saw people not prospering. I saw people really fighting and fussing. I'm like, this is not it for me. This is not it. So it's funny. So when I was younger, I looked at alcohol as if it was a mature state. You know, I couldn't wait till I be adult and I'm going to do something and I'm going to do something else. And then when you get older, it's like, and you realize, and you have a taste of it. You actually know that it's a commercial that I've been trying to put out for years. And, you know, people have been taking ideas from my channel for a long time. I see that. But that's okay too, because, you know, messages got to get out there. It's regardless, you know what I mean? Regardless, the higher realms know where it came from. And that's the bottom line for me. You know, as you know, on my channel, you know, I breathe life into this world. So if it helps this world, then it's okay. If it makes it a better place to live, breathe, honor one another, and play. You know what I mean? You know, healthy play. You know, meaning communicate with one another, help each other. That type of thing matters. Yeah. So it was a commercial that I had wrote years ago. It never had a chance to actually seek life because, you know, again, like I said, this has been a road less traveled. When people see you coming, they want to block you because they don't want you to be a part of this, because you represent the change of the world. I did not know that then. I thought people were just being mean. People were just being rude. People were just whatever. The bottom line is, these people know that when we come sober, we come to make change for the better. I'm not saying others cannot. Don't get it twisted, because then that'll change that. And that's how people, you know, kind of twist things, for people to be already twisted and twist things, right? So the bottom line is, I'm not saying that people, you know, who may have something in their system does not affect change. And when we come, when people who are really applying sober principles in their life, which align with spiritual principles, which align with Earth's spiritual evolution, oh, that's change, baby. See, I didn't know that they saw us before we saw them. They said, here they come. I got fired from my job sober. I got fired from jobs where I was on time, beyond on time. You know, you would really be. And it's so much to the point as I thought for a minute that it was an attack on single parents. I used to be at my jobs 2 hours, 3 hours early on purpose. Just so if somebody called out, I could back up somebody. They'd be like, oh, she here, so, you know, like maybe take this until your shift start and then we get some, or whatever like that. I'm thinking in terms of, you know, constantly, because this is how we do. When you have that type of clear mindset, that's how you can show up and you know, do. So make no mistake about it, sobriety is the way of life. Matter of fact, it's the best kept secret of life. All right? A lot of people don't know that. You know, a lot of the strong elites do, you know, because it was the best kept secret. It wasn't given to me or you, all right? So it was the best kept secret. However, getting down to the get down is that walk was very beneficial, okay? to why this channel was created today. You remember I told you guys we created this channel. The higher realms got me here so you guys can be clear to prepare for war and times of peace. That means prepare for war in times of peace. Spiritual war, physical war, mental war, physical war, mental war, emotional war, whatever it is, prepare. Because the higher realms told me when I was very young that danger is only best when it's forewarned. That's the reason we have these inner gifts or inner knowings, things of that nature. Now, people will have you think that people like us are very evil, the ones who forewarn you. They say they're evil. How is that evil if I'm telling you you can ready to drive off a cliff? There's no more road. The road cuts off there. There's no more houses on the block. The road ends right there. Why is it considered evil? Because it's the same thing as your grandmama told you. Boy, don't you go out there and be with those so-and-so. Girl, don't you go out there being fast. It's the same thing as your mama tell you. If I catch you out here, blah, blah. And make sure before you do this, you cut off the lights. Before you do, it's the same exact thing. However, we are, since we're now able to spread out and spread our wings, those who are the ones who are supposed to do this work, because the wings are spread out now, it's like they were trying to presume evil. Like we're coming for you. We're going to eat your head off. Get out of here. I don't know, anyone with a soundness of mind that do any of these practices of any kind. I don't personally know them. I'm just saying that for me. When you have a soundness of mind, you tend to see things different. You tend to want to create more life in order to be a disease of life, or a cancer of life, or destroyer of life. If you don't believe me, try it for 5 years. I guarantee you. You will overstand the trail of tears. And that's the best way I can say that, because it's a spiritual meaning of that. That's the best way I can say it. That's the best way I can say it. So during this journey, you guys, I started out, like I said, computer science, and graduated. The whole time I went to school, I was always confronted with friction, women in my face, wanting to fight. And I'm talking 21, 22, in school, in computer science, in the National Press Building. Okay? Anybody know about that, Washington, D.C.? National Press Building. Okay? We in there and everywhere. Now, remind you, my first go-to of living, it was my heart, and that was Culinary School of Arts. So that was my first love, which I tried. But they say you have to drink alcohol in order to be a chef. So that took me off the shelf. And I'm glad he did that, but we only started that first week, that first week, and they should have told you before you even signed the papers. But bottom line is they drag it all the way out till you sign the papers, got the loan, and then I'm in there looking stupid, and they say, well, you have to drink, and you have to, be able to drink alcohol, because they give you a whole list of all the fine liqueurs that you have to know, all the fine liqueurs that go with all the drinks. And in order to do that, you have to be a drinker. Again, that was back in the 80s, okay? 87 to be exact. So I went full steam ahead. I didn't stop. It gave me life. Sobriety gave me life. It still gives me life. I'm still grateful. I still love it. It still has not changed for me. Now, getting down to the nitty gritty. The things and people, places, and things you have to let go of, all right, in order to become love, okay? The people, places, and things that I let go of they were not of love, okay? Let's get that real in every way. Even though people say they love you, they say what they want to say. I don't care if it's a family or whatever it is. They may say the word love. However, they exude the energy of love spelled backwards. Evil. Right? So you recognize it for what it is, and that's why I say 5 years, because you have to really know how and when to do this. Okay? It's strategic in every way. It's strategic in every way. So what I'm saying is, you guys, I've had every dot, every dagger. I've been in all kinds of situations, and it's needless to say is when people see something good. Now I'm speaking along my journey and right to the day, when they see something good in any type of way. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm messing up. When anybody sees something good in any type of way, to them it's a signal to dismantle or, fake portray, give you a fake image of this person, place, or thing. If they see a good business, they be like, yeah, but they don't give your money back. Oh, really? They don't. They put too much taxes on their taxes and all this stuff. So they'll find a way to harm. Oh, yeah, that's a good person. But they'll say, oh, but that person stinks. I remember in school, that's what they used to do. So they really try to keep people away from you, say all kinds of slick stuff. And they know that it works. They know their own people, because on me, it would not work. I mean, I don't care if I was, 2, 10, whatever, stay away from that, because I would have to check the skunk. If it's not a skunk, I gotta know that it's real. You know what I mean? You can't just tell me that and I'm going to eat it for lunch, and then pass it on to the next. Like, they know their people. This is how they grew up. This is how they utilize the takedown effect. Okay, it's a takedown effect of good. And like I said, this has always been the spiritual war. That's why you always wonder why this man is with her and why this woman with him. Because that's what it is. It's been that for a very long time. If they are able to let that negative energy transfer and come to that, if they are going to succumb to the negative, then that's what they will live. Let me go ahead and write that down. I can't make it up. Let me get my, where is my book? Okay, let me just write it here. If, bear with me, you guys, you succumb to negative that is where you will live. Wow, I can't make that stuff up. That's what it is, you guys. So, unbeknownst to me, that's what I recognized very, very early in life. If you allow the negative in, then that's the way that's where your life will spend. Can't make it up. I can rephrase that many ways. However, so they find different ways, and now I see they're playing with that word autism. I see a lot of energy being played out in that as well. It used to be like, oh, they have good genes if they're younger, or if they look young but they don't look their whatever age and whatever like that. And then they were trying to. One lady told me, I want to get your genes. She said, I want to just take your blood at my job. And I was like, okay, that's the first I've heard that. And it was sweet, but not sweet, because it scared me a little teeny bit. I was like, that's the first time I heard that. Is that okay? Because people don't normally talk like that. I don't know where she come from. But the bottom line is, okay. So, having that said, so now they're trying to say, I don't know, I've heard this from someone very close to me. They say, yeah, now they're saying that autism, that you can tell the person looks very young. Well, if you look in the Mayans calendar, you will see certain signs look young too. You'll see the signs features. The stars tell you so. This is before they even came up with a thought pattern of anything about autism. You can check the stars. You know, each sign has a significant look. It's a reason why Pisces kind of give the fish look. It's the reason. Each sign favors its symbol or what have you. I can't make it up. You guys, so the bottom line is they're trying to spin that off into autism. However, until they need to really draw lines, specifically, just like you have certain things, you know, I always say if a person is ready to attack and there's no war, you know what I mean? Then you can really deem that person as violence. Or there's no war, or there's no threat. If there's no war, no threat, and the person always attacking, then you can deem them as a really a problem. You know, like a issue with themselves, like they're a walking time bomb, so to speak, type of thing. So that part, yeah. So these things have been told eons ago during the Mayans calendar that Virgos look very young. You know, all Virgos are very youthful. Hence, you got Michael Jackson. Hence, you got others. And I'm talking about, you know, the elders, you know. So the bottom line is this. I'm here to clear those records. Get out of this foolishness, you guys, because a lot of things is just a spin on another thing that someone who was so discontent with themselves really wanted others to be discontent with anything that is good. That's why I actually had something on the back of my videos to tell you guys that. Just remember that they can repurpose videos. They can do all of these weird things. And, well, now they can't, because I think the U.S. got it now, so I'm so glad. Before, you know, if you deal with other countries, you know, they may do anything, because it's anything goes. You know, that's why you don't really call yourself popping up to other countries like you know something, because you don't know anything of how it goes. You really have to know that you know. For me, I like to know. I'm a Virgo, so we always analytical. I want to know that, you know, that I know. And I felt so sorry for that true story about that lady that say the movie called Not Without My Daughter. She called herself marrying this man from another country, and he was his total self once he got back home, and she didn't know what back home was like, and she became a prisoner and all this stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying. Another card that the higher realms told me to make and gave me a little saying that says, verify, because you can live their lie. Verify, because you can live their lie. So she was living his lie in order to get her to where he needed her to be. But that's another thing in its entirety. So I just want to share with you guys that this is no easy walk. I've had a promotion and raise and fired the same day. Now the average person would say, "Oh, give me a drink, give me anything. Yeah, just give me anything. Give me anything, anything." Well, I'm here to tell you, once you have that soundness of mind, that mindset will not do. A comfort from any entity will not do, because of that energy within you, that soundness of mind that protrudes through you, that connection to what's higher than you. It goes on. It's deeply connected. That's why those lies and whatever tales, because we used to say, lies and whatever tales, okay? I don't want to say lies and faggot tales because that's what they used to say back in the day. But the bottom line is, the lies, upon good people cannot constantly be told and sold. And I don't even see how that's even a thing, because people have the real audacity, and then they're going, they can harm the person in school and then try to act like they're protecting their race. They can harm the person in school that's the same race as them, same exact race. They can do that in school. You know how they say schools, even though I don't know if they're actually the same race, but I'm just saying they can do these things, behind scenes, and and then act like you're defending your race of people. You can shun somebody in school and slander them and make their life a living age, because a lot of people didn't come back from that. A lot of people end up, and my heart goes out. My heart goes out to a lot of the ones that lost it. It really hurts my heart, because they were nothing but a punching bag and a victim. And I'm talking about people who were bullied in school. I had my dose of bullying. I was jumped by the whole school twice, elementary school and junior high. And the last time they tried to break my nose. And the only reason I believe I was jumped is because 1 or 2 or 3 people could not handle me. Because I don't take lightly to, someone attacking me. So that I learned how to protect myself very, very early. So I think that was the major reason. But for the whole school, when you think about it, that really hurt, And then that grew out to something else later on in the years, But the bottom line is, and what I mean by that is, had a little situation there, in my marriage when I was pregnant, type of thing, where something went horribly wrong as I was pregnant. That family, yes, that I got the stay away order on, tried to do a little something to me at that time, And again, your girl is celebrating sobriety today. I'm celebrating life. I'm celebrating love of self. I'm celebrating love of self-wealth. I'm celebrating light. I'm celebrating the pure connection to the higher realms. So it's deeper than sobriety when it gets there, because this walk is like no other walk. No one else can do exactly what you guys sent here was appointed to do. That's why they're trying to distract you. See, because what you don't know is that you are no different than me. So you are experiencing the before me. I remember before I was 21, me. So a lot of you guys need to know that, like I said, this has been no bitter roses or anything like that. I've had all kinds of slander. I've had ever since elementary school. Ever since, I've had it. I've had all kinds of slander. And it's like, what are these people? What are they? And at one point in time, I used to think they were animals. And then somebody gave me a little point, and I loved it, so I held on to it. And they told me, you know what? I do this when I come home. And I started doing it because I felt like it helped. You know, it felt like it sounded like it helped. So I would take a leaf, and we had real strong leaves from trees back then. And take the leaf and draw your fingers and rub it on the brick and make a face, what it was like today. And so I would try to keep happy faces, but when it was sad, I couldn't help it. That was my leaf for the day. You know, it was a sad leaf, you know, because I had people out for me that I didn't, excuse me, I guess, you know what that is, we already know. Yeah, so I had people that were against me for whatever reason. And like I said, I mean, I could have been targeted because of my name. I could have been targeted because they knew what my purpose was. And a lot of times it is actually both, you know. They'll try to pretend like it's the way you look. It's this, that, and the third. It's deeper than that, baby doll. Because if that was the case, then every single model would be destroyed. And that's not happening. It's deeper than that. It's what you stand for, what you represent. See, you represent loyalty. You represent respect. You represent sobriety. You represent a connection to what's higher than us all. You represent help for the good fight. Day or night, you represent when you are walking in the light, which I choose as sobriety. So when I tell you guys in my story, because I hear a lot of people, I'm very intuitive, so I pick up what's being said, what's being read. It's weird. I can't even explain. Nevertheless, you guys, and that's another thing. Those who really know, when you are clean, when you are clear, free of these energies and these distractions, alcohol, drugs, any type of thing, woo-wee, the clarity, it surmounts the level of energy of just simply you and me. It is pure spiritually energy. If you don't believe me, try it. Try it for 5 years. You'll see. Try it for 5 years, I guarantee. You won't even know. You won't even know you. All right? You won't even know you. You wouldn't even know yourself. Okay, what's happening? You wouldn't even know yourself. Yeah, this energy is strong. Yeah. See, I see, you guys, what's happening is all this is energy. When you see movement, when you see things, these are energies. Ooh, it's deep. So anywho, yeah, so I've been slandered. I used to go to my job, and the guy used to drop dollar bills. I used to go to my I used to work for, school system. So the guy used to drop money because he thought I was the star that used to strip. Now, remind you, I've been sober ever since I was 21. I've never seen a pole, never had a friend that had a pole, never even knew pole language. Okay? I was 21 sober. So that really shocked me when they said somebody has my name and they're doing this and that, and I gotta be wary of this, and I was shocked. It broke my heart a little bit, but at least I knew why I had negative energies coming to me from guys, and they were very negative, unbeknownst to you guys, surprise, because I was used to something else, so when I would get this negative, because we had real gentlemen back in the day. real men who really behave like gentlemen. It wasn't these questions that I'm hearing this day and time would never be a question back in the day, because they were real men. I mean, real men, like men. That thing. It was real men. Men that act like a man, a gentleman on top of that, So those were the ones that we saw. And you guys see some of them, in the world today, but they're at higher statues now. They have moved on because they have succeeded levels and they're doing great for themselves. However, they were who they were. And when it was just these weird things that I'm hearing. I guess it's the YouTube streets. I don't know, but the bottom line is it wouldn't even be a thing. Okay, they were real men, like my father. Everybody loved my father because he was a real man. I never had a cry without a beautiful, and I still say this, beautiful handkerchief. I never got tissue. What? Somebody hand you a tissue. That's like go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. You go to the bathroom. I remember I saw that one time. I thought that was so rude. Like when I was, coming up, I was like, what is that tissue? Or what? That's going to the bathroom. And I thought it was like, I was like, oh, I don't care if it was a napkin. It was like, oh, that's bathroom worthy. So back in the day, for me, we used to get the beautiful, colorful handkerchief. And it would be so pretty, and you wouldn't even want to blow. You wouldn't want to blow your nose on it. But my father would say, "No, baby." He'd be like, "Go ahead," and I'd be like, and my daddy be with his suit on, looking so handsome, and I be done killed the daggone beautiful thing. But I just say, oh my goodness. Those were the days. I don't think they'll ever come back. So I have to just share them with you guys because I don't think they'll ever come back. I don't know who still has that luxury, but it was a beautiful thing. I'm telling you, So, and also, so just sharing that energy with you guys, I had to do that and let you guys know that today is a very special day, and it has been no bed of roses. Honestly, in sobriety, I've been, attacked every which way, job, house. I had to fight crackheads out my house, because, family members were crackheads and they were doing things, and basically it's life. I end up, just giving in to the fact that, what, let me go ahead and just do this quick sale, get these quote unquote low vibe energy family members out of my life for good, forever, ever, because I had the children and I needed, what I needed. And it was, so the bottom line is I said, what, let me get these and be finished. And I, did that, and that was horrible. All of it was real deep and horrible. And believe it or not, it's forgiveness all over the world. I'm not gonna lie. I still love, my people. I don't want nothing to happen to my people. I love my people, regardless of who they are, who they choose to be. I love everybody who don't like me and who they choose to be, because I don't have time for that. That's not my cup of tea. I'm going to be me regardless. Believe that. Upon that, and then stack that, and then retract that, and then fact check that, because that is what it is, and that's how it shall be. Because I didn't make me. That's the worst part of it all. You know what I'm saying? How about that? So what I'm saying is, you guys, I'm really trying to spend some moments with you guys, but to be honest, time is slowly ticking. And I just want to let you guys know that, once you choose this road, just choose to be faithful to yourself. choose to know that no matter what, your sobriety self is your wealth. Fam, I have to close by saying, happy anniversary to me. Happy sober anniversary to me. I love you guys. This is where we must part ways. If life lasts and death pass, you will see or hear me again. Until then, Paulay, peace be unto you. And